Some legends are so deep-rooted they persist down the ages, even to the heart of a high-tech world like 21st century Japan. The threat of the child snatcher is every parent's nightmare. And even today, there are signs alongside rivers that warn children not to get too close to the water, in case a spirit called the Kappa sucks their souls away. How could such a far-fetched myth prevail if there weren't a grain of truth within it? It seems unbelievable, but the fear of this animal is real enough for some parents to build a shrine to placate it.
And there it is. So that is the Kappa. Fascinating looking creature. Almost humanoid in some ways.
Descriptions of the Kappa vary, but most agree this fearsome water creature has a wide mouth and, more surprisingly, hands.
A very, very powerful mental image that people have.
Mr. Toshimoto tells me it grows to nearly 5 foot long. I'm joining him on a scientific mission to collect data. And it's my job to capture a specimen. This animal has sharp teeth that will cut my fingers if they actually went anywhere near its mouth, so I've got my bite-proof Kevlar gloves on. Got to go down with this underwater camera, just try and see if I can find one, see where it is, and then go down and try and grab it. Mr. Toshimoto tells me the Hanzaki hides under rocks, sometimes even in shallow water, waiting to strike at anything that comes within range. He also warns me to stay away from its mouth. I have to grab it by the tail. There's one down here, or it might be two. There's a tail sticking out. So hold the tail, grab tight.
Okay.
Okay, so grab tight, and then in the net. Okay. This isn't a monster I can catch on the end of a line. I've got to use my hands. I've caught a Hanzaki, better known as the giant Japanese salamander, one of the largest salamanders in the world. But this, I think, is the creature I've been after. Looks a bit like a fish, but it's got hands. And that's exactly what this has got. With no natural predators, these creatures are fearless. Their mouths contain hidden rows of teeth that clamp down on slippery prey. They may live for 80 years and can grow to nearly 5 foot and 50 pounds, about the same size as an 8-year-old child. I was skeptical I'd find any creature outlandish enough to inspire the legend of the child snatcher, but seeing is believing. With this predator in the river, I can now understand why some parents don't let their children go anywhere near the water. And it doesn't take much imagination to see why some think they can swallow souls. Its prey is imprisoned alive until it slowly dissolves. He tells me the Sareng is a fish sacred to Hindus. They believe it eats the half-cooked human remains from cremations cast into the river, then carries the soul to the gods, where it's reincarnated into another human body. This is a fish that shouldn't be eaten, but beyond that, it's actually a sin to kill it. Babaji, मैं मच्छी शिकारी हूँ. I'm a fisherman and I'm here to try and catch a sareng. The holy man warns me that trying to catch this fish will bring nothing but bad luck. we've got a sort of a palm print, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Here again, palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. So going that way, tiger. There is actually an active man-eater around at the moment. About, I think it's 5 people in the last couple of months.
But this is where I have to fish. I'm not overly superstitious, but as soon as I try to catch this fish, everything starts to go wrong.
It's off, it's off, it's off. Ah!
I try to stay rational, but even I start to get the feeling that someone doesn't want me here. It feels like my fate is in the balance. But after weeks of failure,
Just bloody ridiculous.
finally my luck looks set to change.
Oh!
And this time it feels like a very big fish.
That's gone, wherever it was. That was a fish, and that took moments after the bait was in the water. And then the line tightened, and there was a real weight on the end. That was a sizable fish. I was really leaning into that, and that's a fish gone.
This was one of very few occasions when I came away empty-handed. Perhaps I should have paid more attention to the holy man. Mongolia is a vast landlocked country in Asia. 8 centuries ago, this was at the center of warlord Genghis Khan's empire. Today, it's the most sparsely populated country on Earth. The rivers are almost never fished. According to tradition, it's virtually forbidden. And those who ignore tradition do so at their peril.
Taimen is a real aggressive, scary fish.
And just like the warning about the Sareng in India, I was told by a holy man that I shouldn't catch a Taimen. It's actually believed that if you kill fish, that's going to bring bad luck to you. Others tell me my only hope for good fortune is to appeal to the spirits of the river. To do that, I must consult a shaman. She bangs a drum to help her enter a trance-like state. Before my eyes, she transforms, from a soft-spoken woman to a gruff-voiced oracle. She's literally a woman possessed. Apparently, having looked at my palms, although fishing is a bad thing, it doesn't please the spirits, there is some good in me, and the spirit will bring the fish to me. But what I've got to do, not just here but other rivers, is when I go to the river, I've got to make some kind of offering to the spirits before I fish. But will it be enough to summon the river wolf that I've travelled so far to find? After weeks of searching, it's time to brave freezing rapids, to find out whether the spirits will bring this incredibly rare and aggressive fish to me.
Yes, 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 yes. That's a fish, that's a fish. Right, I can see it. I can see that red tail. Right, now just take it easy now. Big red tail. This is a good sized fish. It's starting to spin. Okay, it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning.
After a nerve-wracking fight, the myth made flesh. The Taimen, king of these remote rivers.
Wow. Just looking at this thing now, you can just tell how well adapted it is for this predatory lifestyle in this fast water. Very, very streamlined body, but this huge mouth, and the teeth in there are just angled, you know, they almost come back flat, which is why they're not immediately visible. And it's even got teeth on the tongue.
This powerful predator can live for more than 50 years. And in some Asian rivers, it has taken only 50 years for its population to collapse by 95%. As the world shrinks, the Taimen is becoming increasingly under threat. This is a fish I wasn't sure I would ever live to see. Ironically, the taboo that threatened to stop me catching that fish is probably the very thing that's protecting it in its last stronghold. My destination, the River Kwai in Thailand. I'm told snakeheads here grow as big as a 5-year-old child. I'm used to tall tales, but the story I'm about to hear is so freakish that no one could possibly have made it up. Fisherman Kun Lang vividly recalls a Burmese couple who came here 3 years ago to hunt snakeheads.
So what actually happened was that the fisherman was under the water with his spear gun, shot a snakehead head on, and actually scored a direct hit. The fish then just kept on coming and shoved the rear end of the metal spear through the fisherman's mask and into his face. Apparently the spear actually came out the back of the man's head.
To find out if snakeheads are as violent as this story suggests, I decide to put my rod and line to one side. I plan to encounter this fish using the same method as the fisherman who was killed. I head upriver, knowing full well that I might be meeting the giant snakehead at the most dangerous time of the year. The rainy season is the time when snakeheads breed. The adults protect their young with no holds barred. Then Dar spots movement. And with our target pinpointed, the hunt can begin.
I'm getting a bit nervous. It is totally another world down there. See me?
By diving with a small camera,
See the guys?
I hope to capture the entire drama as it unfolds. Dar slips into the water, leaving me scrambling to catch up. I have to stay close, but I've never been fishing with anyone as predatory as Dar. Bad weather has churned the water into a murky soup, and I struggle to keep up. I don't want to get between Dar and his quarry. I could easily wind up getting speared myself. Neither of us can see each other, or the snakeheads.
It's murky down there, it's murky.
I'm having second thoughts about this. I'm starting to feel like human bait. On one side, super aggressive giant snakeheads. On the other, Dar with his rustic spear gun. But I can't turn around now. The snakeheads have vanished into the murk, leaving Dar to hunt on instinct. All I glimpse is Dar's back as he arms the gun. Then before I know it, we're in the middle of a cluster of young snakeheads and chaos breaks out. I can only pray his spear doesn't hit me.
I think we've got one.
My elation is largely because it's the fish on his spear, not me.
I'm gonna keep out of the way. I'm gonna keep out of the way.
With a single shot, Dar has caught a female giant snakehead. Despite taking a direct hit, the fish simply seems to shrug it off. Dar's spear has gone through the muscle of its back, but missed its vital organs.
I'm just hoping it doesn't double back and have a go at me as a last farewell. She's actually free now. She can go if she wants.
The fish is almost as lucky as I was.
There she goes. Well, it's actually gone back into the lake to be reunited with the young. So, really good to see. You don't expect to see that from a fish caught on a spear.
Rivers in India are sacred. On my many visits to this mystical country, I've seen how these holy waterways are worshipped as the givers of life. But these rivers also harbour deadly creatures. Along the Kali River in the Himalayas, I hear reports of a freshwater predator unlike anything I've ever heard before.
It can suck you in from a distance.
Known to measure 7 foot and armed with spike-like teeth, a catfish called the Goonch does have the potential to be a man-eater. And it seems this river is home to an exceptional super-sized Goonch that packed such a massive bite it has allegedly targeted a buffalo.
It's another pretty cold, chilly day out there again, and I can't even see the river. Just had another rather fitful night, interrupted by visions of dark, turning water and underwater caverns and something that is capable of dragging in people and animals.
Every waking moment is spent fishing, but I keep coming up blank. As the weeks pass, I begin to question if the Goonch really does exist.
As much as I like rivers, I'd rather appreciate this one. I think from my armchair, the cold is starting to get into my bones, and you know, it's hard going.
At long last, it feels like something massive has taken my bait.
It's in the fast water. Something very powerful in here. Try and relax and keep a bit calm. Gaining a tiny bit of line.
I've been fishing long enough that I've developed a kind of sixth sense. I know when I have a big fish on, and this is a big fish.
There's a lot of line out and some very strong water the other side of it, so it's...
But if the fish gets into the main current, I'll never get it back.
This is very, very touch and go, very touch and go.
And then it does exactly what I didn't want it to do. I have a split second to react.
I'm gonna have to go for a swim. Wait. Now! That is a serious sized Goonch. That is a man-sized animal. That is as big as a person. It is bigger than a lot of people around here. That is a big fish. 6 foot of muscle behind that mouth. And those teeth are just like shark teeth.
The Goonch is without doubt the deadliest catfish I've ever caught.
Just the absolute perfect predator. Huge mouth on there. Huge mouth. And if anything just comes down within range of that mouth, it's too late.
For a predator to grow to this size in such a turbulent, murky river is no mean feat. It demonstrates how catfish make use of their enhanced senses to track down prey, even in the harshest conditions.
A long time.
Look at that. That's what's on the bottom here.
Thick mud is going to give my quarry a big advantage.
Just imagine that's the stingray. I mean, that actually weighs nothing at the moment. I can lift that easily. And just getting a little bit under the mud. There we go. And I can lift it up. Look at that. Ah. So, if that stingray gets the edges of its wings under the mud, I'm not just trying to lift the stingray, I'm trying to lift the whole bottom of the river. Right, it might surface over there.
After another back-breaking fight, I've finally got a second chance to land one of these otherworldly giants.
It's under the boat now. The fish is under the boat. I don't want to be lifting it while it's under the boat. I think it's coming this way again. Ah, it's just squashing my fingers. It's squashing my fingers. It's gone this way. Sorry, gone this way. Okay. See the water boiling there? I haven't seen the fish yet. It's near the surface. I've just actually seen the lead. It's up in the water. I think we've got it. I think we've got it.
Back of the net.
Go for the wingspan. 1 metre 91, nearly 2 metres across. 191.
At around 6 feet across and roughly 400 pounds, this female stingray is the largest fish I've ever caught from a river. Then, as I'm still trying to comprehend this strange giant, an extraordinary spectacle.
So we've just got the fish into where the scientific team is. And literally, as we sort of pulled it in the net, it's actually given birth to 2 live young.
Dr. Ning uses ultrasound to see if there are any more babies still inside. This is the first time that scientists have been able to gather information from the fully developed pups of these stingrays.
On the ultrasound, there's the dark line, which is a cavity, and then there is a lighter shape inside it. So apparently that is the baby stingray still inside.
See the baby moving?
I thought I had 1 fish on the end here. It looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, and another one inside. 4 fish, 1 hook.
Like many sharks, stingrays give birth to live young. When they emerge, these babies had what looked like a small cap on their stings, presumably to prevent internal injury to the mother. These safety catches quickly drop off, though. Within moments, the twins are armed and ready to defend themselves. The babies are taken away for tests, but will soon be brought back.
The great thing about these fish here, these 2, is that they are, pretty well fully developed. They might be being born a little bit early, but I think they are definitely going to survive in this river, particularly with that 2-inch prong on their tail. There's not a lot that's going to come near them.
Meanwhile, Dr. Ning turns her attention to the mothership. There is one final sample to extract.
Okay, I'm holding it.
Just be careful.
Right, we're now going to take the toxin. Okay, I'll help you.
By analysing this poisonous slime, scientists may one day discover how the venom works. If such a huge creature can live undetected for so long, then what other giants may still be hiding in muddy rivers around the world?